Coming up next is Terry Payne with some public information you might find interesting.
We're here in front of Oaklawn Racetrack, and as you can tell, even in the morning hours, it's pretty noisy and there's a lot of traffic on the road. With me today is Denny McFate, who is the Public Works Director for the city. Welcome, Denny.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Well, we're going to talk about these pedestrian crossing lights. One of them is right directly behind us. What are they all about, and how do they work?
They're solar powered. There's a pair of them, one on either side of the crosswalk, on either side of the highway. Solar powered and radio controlled. So when you walk up and you push a button, it activates the lights and it transmits a signal to the other side of the street, and that one activates at the same time.
I see. Pedestrian safety is always a hot topic in this town, an important topic throughout the downtown area as well as here at Oaklawn. How were these lights funded, and what were the cost?
We have two sets here. Both of them are close to the front entrance of Oaklawn. Because of the increase of public safety, we were in partnership with Oaklawn. They bought them. They bought the two pair. They're about $8,500 a pair. And in partnership agreement, the city agreed to traffic division installed them, and that we will maintain them.
I see. So that is one of many wonderful partnerships that we have. These new lights make it safer for pedestrians. How is that true? Can you explain?
Well, several ways. It helps raise the awareness of vehicles traveling the street. Sometimes they may not notice someone standing in the crosswalk or on the edge of the crosswalk. You've got two flashing lights that are well above other vehicles that may be traveling beside you. And in addition to that, in the past, every Oaklawn meet, we had quite a few police department personnel down here directing traffic, and they're actually standing out in the driving lanes. So when they would let traffic go, people would be driving by them, and if somebody happened to not be looking or paying attention or drop something and bend down or look down and swerve or something, it could endanger one of our officers. So this greatly reduces the risk of having to have patrolmen out here to direct traffic. We've reduced it to about 15 race days a year that PD actually comes out and has personnel on scene. Otherwise, we've kind of relied on pedestrian control and the enhancement of the new traffic signals, pedestrian signals, to raise awareness and make the crosswalks more appealing to the drivers.
Well, you can definitely notice it from farther away. I think people think about pedestrian safety when they approach crosswalks, but perhaps they didn't realize how much of a danger it was posing to the police officers that stood in harm's way every single day.
Very much.
In fact, Chief Flory recently said that $10,000 to $12,000 a year savings is being realized by using these pedestrian crossing lights instead of having officers out here on twice as many racing days as they used to.
Right, and also reduce the ratio of exposure that those officers have on being out in the middle of moving traffic.
So it's cut over time about in half, and greatly enhance the safety of the officers when they are out
and
here.
Pedestrians as well.
Now, that's wonderful to talk about pedestrian safety and how we're enhancing it. But how are we actually saving taxpayer dollars with these crosswalks?
Well, through the cost savings from the police department, from the personnel that they do not have out here, and they're able to go to other places and do other things in the community with those hours.
Yes.
And they're solar powered, so we don't have any electrical bills to pay, and that's significant savings over 15 or 20 year life of these signals.
Absolutely. Now, do we have this type of crosswalk anywhere else in town?
We do. We just completed, right after we finished the installation of these two sets, the School of Math and Sciences approached us with doing something similar to on Pine Street between the buildings on their campus, and we entered into the same type of agreement with the school where they purchased a single pair. They're solar operated as well. Our traffic division installed them, and we will have the same agreement that we will maintain those.
And finally, as we wrap up talking about these crosswalks, is there increased responsibility placed on the part of the pedestrian?
Well, yes, as it should be. I mean, pedestrians have to take responsibility and pay attention to what they're doing and what the traffic's doing, and be sure you don't step out into the lane and make eye contact with the drivers and be sure that they stop and be sure they see you before you step out. If you do that, then there's virtually eliminates any chance of you getting hit or struck by a vehicle. It's just being vigilant, pay attention to what you're doing, and walk when the traffic stops.
Right. It's great to have the flashing lights, but it also means common sense and
Yes, it does.
exercising prudence and being aware of your surroundings as you step out into this busy street.
Right. And push the button. I've said it several times I've been through here and pedestrians have crossed and the lights weren't flashing. It's going to take some getting used to, but it greatly raises the awareness and the visibility of this crosswalk when those lights, especially LED, light up.
So make sure to push the button.
That's right.
Thank you, Denny.
Yes, ma'am.
We appreciate you bringing this very important topic to everyone's attention. And next week, we'll bring you more city news.